Homs, Syria. For months, activists in this media house had risked everything to capture and share with the world the shocking images of what was happening to their city.
We're not animals, we're human beings, we're asking for help.
Now the team in the media house,
quick, let's go,
including CNN's Arwa Damon, Neil Hallsworth and Tim Crockett, had intel that things were about to get even more dangerous.
We had been in there for almost 3 days at this point, and there was credible information that something was going to happen that would be very detrimental to our being there. So, we all sat down. Everyone was part of the discussion about, talking through all the options that, may not happen.
In Homs and at CNN headquarters, the teams discussed the deteriorating conditions.
We were hearing that things were heating up more than they were in those past few days.
The government knew about this media center. It had been a target. The building had been hit the day before on the 3rd floor.
As careful as we were, as calculated as every move was, there are some things you cannot safeguard against. A rocket coming out of nowhere, there's nothing you can do.
And it's a difficult decision because Arwa wanted to stay. She felt she was really doing important journalism, but sometimes you just have to say it's time to go.
There's a sniper that's
time to go for the CNN team and journalist Marie Colvin and Paul Conroy.
At one point in the route, it's incredibly muddy. It's pouring rain. It's freezing cold. And there's this part where I face planted in the mud. And then I was trying to lift myself back up, and my little legs are kind of going like this, trying to get traction, and I couldn't. I finally get up, and then bam, I face plant down again. And Marie had face planted as well. And then we ended up kind of sitting on top of each other in this truck with a professional goat herder turned, I'm going to smuggle you through the farmlands guy. And I mean, Marie and I were just laughing. We were just, nothing about what we'd been through was funny. Nothing about what we'd seen was funny. But we were just laughing.
When you left, you're riding around on the back of motorcycles?
It could be a cattle truck, it could be a taxi, it could be the back of a motorcycle. It's what is available, what is the safest point at that time, or what they feel is the safest thing. It's not one way in and one way out.
And getting out of Homs would be just as dangerous as getting in.
But so often on these stories, when you think you're through the worst of it, there's a nasty surprise.
It would take 2 anxious days, and then finally, good news.
They crossed the border. It was like, wow.
But Marie, Paul, photographer Remy Ochlik and other Western journalists soon reversed course.
Marie went out, but she went back.
She did. She had actually only been there for 24 hours, and she had this need to go back, to not leave these people behind, to tell even more of their stories than she had had the opportunity to tell. I wanted to go back. I don't think we did enough. I don't even think we did nearly enough.
I understand that frustration. From my point of view, I have to be more pragmatic. I have to say I think we've done a great deal. I think we've achieved a remarkable amount.
It's important that we're able to go back and tell the story. And that's why we pull out when we pull out. It's a family. And that's the most important thing. Everybody knows how much everybody cares and that their safety truly is our highest priority.
We got the sad news early this morning that Marie Colvin, foreign affairs correspondent for the Sunday Times of London, was killed in Homs, where the Syrian government has unleashed an all-out assault on its citizens. An award-winning French war photographer, Remy Ochlik, was also killed. He was just 28 years old.
It's tragic, but it's also, unfortunately, it happens.
Does it make you think about what you were doing there more?
Did I have second thoughts about having gone there? No, not for a second. If journalism were governed by that sort of fear, we journalists would never be anywhere, and things would happen in complete and total black holes.
The last thing that those frontline troops want is that when a tragedy happens, it makes us less willing to do this kind of storytelling. It makes us less willing to go to where the story is.
It takes a special type of person to do this kind of thing. What kind of person is that? It's a person that's passionate about telling the truth.
I think the worry for Arwa and for others that somehow the story of Homs will be forgotten, or the suffering of there will be forgotten. But we are committed to this story. We will continue to find ways of doing this story and bringing this story to people. It's really important.
The one thing that we absolutely cannot do is walk away from this story no matter how long it takes. It is fundamentally unfair that we live in a world where we can go, film this, report on it, and leave, knowing that the people we've left behind, suffering is going to continue, feeling as if we should have done more, we could have done more. Maybe there was a better way to tell the story that would have had more impact, that would have brought them the help that they need. You're always constantly second-guessing how you've done things and whether or not you could have accomplished more with what you've done. And yes, that does play on your mind. And it should. And you should tell the stories of the people that you've met, because you've witnessed it, and that's your responsibility to keep telling their stories.